them slider hand tree.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another Ride Along with Goggles, and here we are, some more logging, and this is going to be our third video with the third version of the Pizzster Pitts logging trailer. So this is the what's it, the PL40 or something like that, 4L, and it's got the raised deck on the front, and it's carrying the rear a little lower. It looks like you can't get full length on the top tier bridging across the back, and what they have is the lower logs go up to that bolster saddle right there and rest in there, and then there's some shorter ones at the top, and then when you get to about this level right here, it goes right across, or I guess that level right there. Anyway, pretty cool. And this trailer, it's got an interesting thing in the back, and I looked at these sort of in real life, and it looks like that rear, see that sloped arm there? It actually moves up and down that bolster, and that whole bolster saddle thing can slide to the back. And when it slides to the back, those arms go up and changes the length of the rear bolster spacing. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe they'll make that part of the trailer someday, who knows? But for now, this is what we got. What's that right there? Oh, the backup alarm, I guess. Cool. Anyway, we are in East Glacier, and we got quite a route ahead of us. The trip's 327 miles, so shouldn't be lollygagging here too long, because it takes a while to get out of here. So we're going to take the front door out, head out this way and that way. Go on through Kalispell, which is always nice. Up through here past Troy. A really nice drive through here. Got that, if you remember along here, the railway on the right, the river, and it just looks scenic as all get out. And yeah, what's not to like? It's going to be a good trip. Just got to get out of here. So what we'll do, we're going to put on our diff lock straight away. Instead of stopping at the bottom of the hill up there, we'll just put it on now. We're going to catch heck from the powers that be, but realistically we would stop at the bottom of the hill and do it there. But I don't want to lose my momentum. The cargo is 49,603 here, 5715 according to Truckee. Got a 3406B today. I've been driving the 12.7 an awful lot lately. We got, for me in the game, what we consider highway gears at 355s in the final drives, but this kind of work you'd probably have, well, depending on your engine power and transmission, 370s, 390s, somewhere in there. All right. Get a little run at this. Boy, come on, keep climbing. Going straight here as long as I can without turning the wheel. Don't want to slow it down any. I think we're gonna have to get down to too low on that hill there after the water. What do you call that? Trigger pickup point. Yeah, shoot. I should have thought of that. This engine, it's got that repeating sound with the Jake brake. We're going to hear a bit of that going down the hill here. And think of that. I was tempted to put in the older 3406E, and so I haven't driven it for quite a while, and I didn't have it in this profile, which is kind of shocking, so no joy on that. See that constant repeat sound really ruins this engine for me. Other than that, I love it. Yeah, this next hill, I think what we're going to do is just going to kind of go into it slow and be in the right gear at the bottom, because it's a pretty steep, short little climb, and it's tough to shift on. Don't have to wait there to get to tough shift. Let me go. That what was that Cummins again? The KTTA. You'd want to be stopping at the bottom and getting in the right gear. Got a split in hand here in case we need it, because we're in high and low range. Too high. So if we had to split here, we got it without no clutch action. Just got to burp the throttle. I would have split those gears if the load was heavier, but it was just marginal there in that last shift. But you're good. Look at that crystal blue water. Beautiful. That strata there going through the rock, it's pretty cool. Heck of a time to get it stuck in neutral. Tough climb coming here. Oh, looks like I have a visitor here. That's old Jazzy's chair over. Uh-oh, that's a mistake. Okay, just gonna go down a full gear here. Yeah, we don't need that drift lock anymore. Need our seatbelts on, no, that's for sure. Bouncing up and down like a cork on high seas here. Yeah, boy, I was watching the those videos Welkers put out before they went to that farm show with their monster bud. And well, I got an urge to go do a little farming. Set up a big bud with the LSW tires if I can. If I can do singles like theirs and just go run a grain cart between, get a few case combines going. Do it with my Foxhorn Manitoba farm. That'd be fun. See that patch just came out. Was it 1.11 or something? Added a bunch of new stuff. So one thing was interesting is they have container carriers, and you can buy containers like sea cans and load them onto the trailer and pull them off the trailer, put them on the ground and load them up. And the one thing that Farmer Cop was showing them loading logs into the container trailer, and it had kind of an auto load thing. But boy, I'll tell you, it's good work if you can get it, because I mean, those logs in that game are a pain in the neck unless you got some kind of mod going. So that was interesting. It took a little while to get out of there. I can't remember the urgency on it. I think it was medium. And we're going to the sawmill in Sandpoint. Because I don't think there's Sandpoint. Let's see. Trying to think. Can't remember if there's a sawmill there or not. I think it's south of Coeur d'Alene. There's one. Uh-oh. Come on, Jake. It's too late now. So this is a different profile than one we were in, but the config is where you change that LOD setting that we did in the last video. So you're going to see it work here, where these trucks coming into view. As soon as we see them, they're what we see as they get to us too. They don't draw in as they get closer, more detail. They're just detailed from the get-go. which is nice. And profiles. Yeah, Moose Hunt was asking about profiles and trucks, and he's having crashing problems or whatever, and asking what I do. And what I do for the profiles, like say this profile, for example, is Pizzster, and this is a copy of it that I've brought into 156. So what I had to do, well, I had to sell one truck out of it. I can't remember which one it was. It was probably the MTG 281/351 Pete. I don't think that's compatible in 156. But what I do is, okay, so I used to have at one point a profile for each truck or mod maker. So like Ruda, Pizzster, CT modding, FLX, Mac. I would just put all the Mac brands in one. All the, what was it? Is that the MH? 613 from Blueprint and D-Link stuff and Harvins and whatnot. So anyway, I've got so many trucks now, I'm having to add multiple trucks into profiles. So like Pizzsters, well, I didn't mind putting in the MTG 351 because there's nothing going to be in common between those two trucks. They're both distinctly their own truck. There's no chance of like cross-contamination or whatever you want to call it that causes crashes when one truck, and they have parts that are in common with another one. And not saying there's anything nefarious going on there. I can't know enough about it to comment. But it's also the same with trailers, so you can get into trouble with trailers. But anyway, so in here I have probably 3 different trucks in here, and quite often I will put the K100 in multiple profiles because I just like that truck so much. I drive it a lot on my own when I'm not doing a video or whatever. I'm just gonna go for a tool around or mess around with a trailer. I just really like it. Anyway, so then in Ruda's got all the Ruda stuff, and then I might throw an odd truck in there or whatever. Just think about it. What are you going to put in there? And if it's something you feel has nothing in common, like for example, an old truck like Borman's WC22 white, that's not going to have nothing in common with Pizzster's or Ruda's truck. So you can throw that in there if you wanted a home for it, or if you got a lot of Borman stuff, just do a profile. And what else? CT modding. So I have CT modding and Rush Hour 109 together. And they're fine. Rush Hour 109's all cab overs, no Canworths, and they don't seem to share anything. So once again, if you look at that, like 4 or 5 profiles, I got like 15 different trucks covered off. And that's how I do it now, just because of the number of trucks. It's so easy to accumulate trucks, and then to get a new one, kind of got to think of where I'm going to put it, and that's what I do. And then once again, I have tutorials out there on cloning a profile. So if you are running out of space to put these things, all you do is pick a profile, one you really like. Maybe he's got a lot of trailers in it, a lot of SCS trailers or whatever, and you don't want to have to go build a bunch of trailers again. Well, clone that profile, start it up in the game after you've done the cloning, sell off the trucks you don't figure you're going to need. And you don't, depending on how solid the profile is, you don't even necessarily have to do that. What you can do is just take the trucks out. It'll populate with an SCS truck in its place if it's missing in the profile when it starts up. No harm, no foul. Just... oh, geez, I missed that. Anyway, basically what you do, and then you go in and you put your new trucks in the mod manager in that profile, And theoretically, you've given profile a name. Like if you were getting into, well, who should we use? You know, FLX, and you never had it before, and you want it in its own profile to start out. Which is, by the way, that truck seems to work with anybody's. Once again, it doesn't seem to, it plays well with others. But anyway, you would go in and rename that profile FLX and 156 if that's where you're going. So I'd encourage you, if you're worried about all this stuff or trying to figure it out, or it's really, really easy to do. And then as you'll see in the live streams, if I switch, quite often I gotta switch. I have multiple mod folders too. And the biggest reason for having multiple mod folders is convoys. Because convoys, you gotta match with the other guys. Well, say for example, either that's stationary, it's not moving and it's not getting updated very often to your convoy profile. Well, if you had only one mod folder and you went and updated something that didn't get updated in the convoy and you overrode it, well, now you're going to be running around looking for the old version of that mod so you can convoy. Well, for all the convoys I go in, they all have their own mod folder, so I don't run into that problem. And I have a master mod folder, just I rename original when I'm not using it. And that's sort of like a collection area. That one probably has 5 different profiles associated with it. And then the convoy ones have their own profiles. So it gives me, I think 9 active profiles. But once you get onto it, it's kind of a no-brainer, and it keeps you running smoothly. So anyway, enough about that. So for a skin today, I'm running the dedicated transport skin on there. Ooh, it's us. Guy behind me's gonna be ticked. Oh, there's nobody behind me. Nobody to make angry. God, I got here too fast. Oh, there we go. Boy, you know, for getting towards the last quarter of the year coming up, well, end of September, we still got a lot of stuff pending or coming our way from SCS. There's supposed to be a Peterbilt 389 update this year. Who knows, maybe a 589 will come out too. Oh, John Boy had a heck of a thought. If the 589 and the other new trucks like the 579, they use the same cab. So what's to stop SCS from doing like a combination truck where you have the different hoods on the same cab to make the various truck variants? That would be pretty cool. And a 389 update, and that drivable pickup trucks and cars. Hopefully not a module that's separate from the main map. Louisiana. So Wow. Stuff coming out the wazoo here. Yeah, we're the Coquihalla Highway, which if you do ProMods Canada, you know about, is closed right now. And due to wildfires and burning right across the highway. And probably smoke in the area too. And that smoke has hit us pretty hard. Forgot to mention it in yesterday's video. But yeah, really insane amount of smoke. I haven't gone outside for 2 days. Well, I did barbecue burgers last night. Figured, what the heck, I'm standing in smoke anyway. But yeah, you can really feel it. And 6 p.m. I'm out there doing burgers, and the sun's up there, and all it is like an orange button in the sky. You can look right at it, and there's no chance of any damage to your old eyeballs, because it was really smoky. And today started off real bad. The air quality warning level was reduced around noon sometime because temperature got really cool and there's a threat of rain, but it's still smoky out there, and it didn't rain. And the rain just, I don't know, somebody explain it to me, does the rain actually pull some smoke out and take it to the ground? And I don't know. But it is getting later in the season up here, longer nights and cooler nights and more humidity in the air. They were saying, the BC Forestry Service, and they're optimistic about getting a handle on it. But yeah, hot and dry in there, and that's a really hot area. It was between Hope and Merritt. The highway is closed. I mentioned it many times when I go through there, up around Merritt, heading south. It's like a desert in there in the summer. So hot, so dry. And it was, here's how I was telling at the beginning of the video. It's a nice little drive along here. Catch up to this river and the railway track here. Hitting the wrong button. If we can make it around this corner from out here. Oh, we turning enough? No, yikes. Better get back in here. Put this thing on its lid. Actually, we could get out here for this. Keep on with the scenery. Yeah, I like that Pizzster's truck now makes a pretty good logging truck. With the logging rack and the short stacks. Pretty cool. Glad they did that. Oh no, a scale. What are we gonna weigh? I have no idea what this trailer weighs. Oh, not gonna find out today either. Trailer's got to be 20,000 pounds, you'd think. Pretty heavy. Heavy steel. Expect it would weigh more than a reefer. Wonder. It's too bad I don't have very many boring days. I could go and go to some city where there's a scale handy to a service. Well, I guess you wouldn't even need that. You just got to have the scale and just spawn trailers on and drive them over. $95 to go. Big vista. I was like that driving through this area on the Canadian side of the border. It looks just like this because we're so close. The Kootenay River and the Columbia, and in the Kootenays and Columbia Valleys, and you come out of the windy stuff like that, and there's a bridge, and if the river's wide like that, it's just kind of catches your breath, you know, like you're dealing with all, you know, closed in scenery and not much to see, and then all of a sudden you come out of all that and across a river and got a big view down each side of it. Pretty cool. I remember when I first came into areas like this, I would always have a camera with me, but it's like the old days, it's film camera. And click, click, click. It took a lot of photos first few years I was driving. I got photos just like kind of what we just went over there. I was looking at them a few months back. I got them all put in one place now. Not in an album or anything, it's still just a big stack of photos, but it's kind of neat. Go through them. Photos are great. Remember the good times, and you seldom take photos of when you're having a really bad time, you know what I mean? So you're looking at the photos going, yeah, hey, that was a good day. You don't take a photo when you're frozen stiff out there, freezing, loading steel. That's the last thing in your mind. So don't, you notice you go through the photos, you got no photos of the bad times. It's all the good stuff. Wow, scale's closed. If there was even one open back there, it may not have, it may have just been a sign. A short trailer and a big truck. A little more like it. That guy took an interesting line for that corner. Runaway ramp right there? Oops. Huh. Ooh, hanging right here. That'll be, I don't think that, shoot, that used to be open all the time. I can't remember. We'll see when we get on it if I remember it. I haven't taken that road in an awful long time if it was. I remember just going through all the time. Stuffer shack. What's going on in there? Can't quite read it. Let's see if we can read it from in here. No, too late. So that'd be a taxidermy shop. Oh yeah, this has been open a long time. Yeah, I know where we are now. This traffic circle down here and a left. That always give me heartburn. This one's, I think it was it a little tight? We'll see with the triple low boy. Always dragging the stinger over the interlock brick here. Not as bad as some, but narrow. Look how short our trailer is, and we're just barely keeping off of that interlock. I did want to take a load out of that log site out of Steamboat Springs, outside of there, little, where was it, east and south a bit. And yeah, there was loads, but they were, I wanted to take this particular load. And in the jog market, he calls it a split load. So when you got the two, you know, sections loaded, nothing joint right across it, calls it a split load. And I wanted this load of Aspen in particular because I should have talked about it earlier, but I think it looks pretty good. It's the logs are really quite nice. It's a good looking load. Right here. Sorry, they're right in front of that dude. You coming in? No, he drove by. He's not coming to kick me in the backside. Yeah, so with the trailers, with Pizzster, there's 3 trailers, but there's 2 different chassis. So there's this chassis in the straight chassis that doesn't have the kick in it, and then that particular chassis has 2 versions, which one is for dynamic loading and gets the sort of default locks, and the other is got the bespoke Pizzster locks like we have on this trailer. Then this one has the different chassis configuration, which is kind of cool. Like, I mean, I think that's a pretty neat looking trailer. Oh, crash. And the cargos are pretty neat too. There's like rough sawn beams. There's kiln-dried beams. Yeah, quite a few different things. And then this trailer here will also take, mixed pulp, like pine logs. So I guess they look like lodgepole pine, like really long and skinny, and maybe not worth the effort of trying to make lumber out of. So he calls them pulp in the loads, and there's 3 different versions of the pine log, I believe. There's eucalyptus and a bunch of different things. Oh, wait a minute. Drive. Did I forget to push the button? Yep. See? I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. God. It's like when if I get on a call with somebody and I'm trying to edit a video or, do the thumbnail or whatever, it takes like 3 times longer than it would otherwise because, I stop doing things when I'm yakking, and it's kind of the same thing when I'm driving, but oh well. As long as we're all having fun. So, good logging truck, nice trailer. It's a good combo right there. Looking the business. So, once again, Sky, let's try that again. Once again, really appreciate you following along. Look forward to catching you hopefully on Saturday's live stream. We'll see how that goes and what we have in store for you. But take care. We'll catch you on the next one, and bye for now.
Need for them sleight of hand tricks.